Welcome to the welcome to the Get It Done podcast. The podcast where I talk to business owners about their business, allowing them to share their business. Um, the reasoning for the podcast, my prayer for the podcast, is that someone that is just simply scared to do the thing, scared to get up and start the business, can be inspired by something that I said, something that one of the guests has said, and just get up and make the decision to do it. So as far as the guests go, I am basically talking to people that I don't know. I've never met before. So it's basically like we're just having a normal conversation with strangers, basically. um, as far as guest, if you are a male entrepreneur, I am looking for you. So this is episode 58. I've talked to either 2 or 3 men. Out of all of the guests, they have been female guests. I am enjoying talking to the ladies. The ladies are out here killing it, but where's the guys? Like, men, where are you guys at? So the guest has arrived, and I will go ahead and add the stage. Hi, is it
Hi,
Taneka? Is that how I pronounce your name?
it's Tanika. Yeah,
Okay. Okay. How are you?
I'm good. How are you, Erin?
I'm really good, thank you. So I'll just go ahead and let you introduce yourself and tell us about your business.
Hi, my name is Tanika, and I am the founder of Walker Wellness and Aesthetics Clinic. And we are located in Houston. And what I'm a nurse practitioner by trade. I retired from the military after 25 years, and I decided
Thank
to
you for your
go.
service.
You're welcome. And I decided to go into practice with everything that I was passionate about and things that I have personally dealt with. So that's the basics and the premises of my business. It's everything that I have personally gone through and shared and had an experience with. Those are the type of patients and the caters that the clients that I cater to.
It's service based, right?
So yes, we are service based. Our services that we offer are weight loss, hair restoration, and we do PRP, stem cells, and uh, pep factor with that one. And we have Botox and some aesthetics, and we do regular general physicals as well.
I love that. How'd you get into this? How'd this get started?
So initially, I had being in the military. They always required for us to wear our hair in a ponytail and in a bun. Like you had to have your hair couldn't be below your collars. There was just certain regs. And as we continued to wear those ponytails, I started having thinning around my edges.
Mm.
And I would go to several doctors and I would be like, okay, I'm having alopecia. And they're like, yes, traction alopecia. Okay. And so I was like, okay, well, what are we going to do about it? Like, okay, I know what it is. You know what it is. So let's treat it. So so they were like, okay, well, this is what we're going to do. And I did 3 doctors and it was all the same treatment. And I got all the same results, which was nothing. I
What
saw
was the
that there
treatment?
has to be the treatments were steroid injections. That is the treatment they want.
Uh,
Everybody wants to give you a steroid injection in your scalp. Well, the issue with giving just steroid injections in the scalp, the steroids will do what we call atrophy of the skin, which will have the scarring, which will leave a lot of scarring. So therefore, if you already have alopecia, then we give you injections and then it's scarring, then we're killing the follicles and your hair is not going to grow in that area anyway. So it's a kind of a catch 22. So I started researching because I was experiencing this. I started researching other and different types of programs where you that affected hair growth with minorities, what type of treatments that would better benefit with minorities, what type of treatments would better benefit women, what type of treatments would better benefit women in my age group. And so I came up with the 3 that we use. And then one of the things was everybody wanted to give you one treatment and then be like, oh, come back in 6 months. Let's see how that does. And then, of course, with the hair cycle having 3 cycles, and the hair cycle lasts 100 days, no one knows which cycle of hair that you're in at that particular time. So certain treatments work on certain cycles of the hair. So they would say come back in 6 months, and then here you go. 6 months later, you're like, okay, well, I only had minimum growth. So the difference is what we offer is we treat the scalp 4 different ways, and that way we're in each way treats the cycle 2 different cycles. So we're going to overlap whatever cycle you're in. You're going to get some treatment with all of those things.
I love that. And how long have you been in business?
We have been in business for 2 years.
Congratulations. How's it going so far?
This is going great. I absolutely love being an entrepreneur and the freedom that it gives me. But most of all, I love making a difference in restoring confidence in clients and letting them see where they didn't think it was possible that it was possible.
I love that. What has been the greatest challenge since starting?
I think the greatest challenge, I started right when COVID was kind of going down, and marketing, of course, is always, as a small business, marketing is one of our um, biggest challenges that because our marketing dollar isn't as big as some of our competitors or some of the franchise companies. So I think my biggest challenge would have been marketing and getting the word out there about the different treatments.
And what did you do to get the word out?
So what we did was I would have education series. So I did a brunch and learn, and I would post on some of the women network groups that I'm in, and I would be like, "Hey, come learn about this service." And we always like a good brunch. Every woman loves chicken and waffles and some shrimp and
We
grits.
do.
Yes, we do like yes. So I started offering monthly brunch and learn sessions, and I started going and then I would have samples of the products that I offer, and I would let them see what a microneedling looks like. I would let them see what the hair serum looked like. I would let them see what wearing a laser cap would look like for them, and just breaking down those barriers and educating them about this is what happens and this is how it happens. And that's one of the things that I started doing.
I love that. And so far, what are you, or what would you say that you are like most proud of since being in business?
I'm most proud was one of the service that I offer that I'm most proud of is the weight loss program. Because when a person comes in and they have tried everything and they're really at their lowest, and to see them continue to strive to be better and to get the results that they want, it's so I have one client that came in and it was always dark colors. It was always dark colors in a hoodie. It was always dark colors in a
Oh, her
sweatsuit. It was
clothes
just
or
dark
their
colors.
clothes?
Their clothes. Yep, their clothes would always just be dark colors in like a hoodie. And so we're down about 56 pounds now, which I'm really excited for. Um,
Period.
yeah, so she came in and she came in all yellow, and I was like, okay. And then she
It's
came
a
in,
new
well,
woman.
yes, just a whole new, and then just to see her confidence and her vibe, it was amazing. And so normally she come and her hair would be in a ponytail. So when she came in with her yellow and she was down these 56 pounds, she had her hair done, she had on her yellow dress, and it was like, and then I remember one time because she follows up monthly, and she was like, I haven't wore these pants in 3 years. She's like, these are my favorite pants. I never wanted to get rid of them, even though I knew I couldn't wear them, and I'm actually in them. So that is my biggest accomplishment, is to see the smile on people's face when they reach their goals, and just to restore the confidence that sometimes life can snatch or steal from us.
I love that. And what does the weight loss program? Is it a program or what does that look like?
So we do the GLP-1 programs, and what we do is I tell my patients, I'm not your nurse practitioner just prescribing medicine. I am your accountability partner, because in life we all need accountability partners. And so what we do is we order labs, we order medications, we do dietary, nutritional, and exercise counseling. I will go to the gym and I will like text them my picture. Okay, let's get it, guys. It's Saturday. The sun is out. You should be out. So I'm just that motivation to them to help them get to that next level. And I let them know that I can't do my job without them doing theirs. So that's why it's a partnership. I need you to get up. I need you to get moving. I can only do so much, but we're in this together. So that is my biggest. And then the program lasts for those that are, it depends on how much weight they want to lose and what their goals are.
I love that. I love that you're like interacting with them outside of them being in the office.
Yes.
And that is neat, especially like in when it comes to like fitness and getting up and getting to it. Like I just love that. Have you had any good advice lately?
Good advice for an entrepreneur, or I
Whatever you
think some good,
choose.
you know what? I attended a women's seminar this weekend, a women's watch and build. And one of the things was to give ourselves grace because we as women, we are as people, entrepreneurs, and with all the hats we wear and trying to fulfill them every day, we tend to not to give ourselves grace when we don't meet that expectation. And it's okay to know that life's going to keep lifing and stuff's going to happen, but give yourself grace. So that would be my one thing that I've learned.
I love that. What are you grateful for today?
I am grateful for my clients and my retirement from the military, but the clients because it's not easy walking into a place and putting your faith and trusting a person because at some point in our lives we've all had a medical professional that we've tried to talk to that didn't listen to us, that we're telling them that this is what I'm going through and we're like, okay, well, this is what the book says. And so I'm grateful that as a nurse practitioner I have clients that will continue to come and allow me to be on this journey with them and to support them.
I love that. Um, what would you say sets your business apart from other businesses that are probably in your field?
Oh, what sets us apart is I don't do it because I don't just offer services just to offer services. All of the services that I've offered in my clinic are services that I've personally had experience with, and everything in my clinic I've tried. Like I have been on the semaglutide, I have done the hair restoration, I've done the Botox. So everything that we offer I have personally experienced. I don't offer anything that I cannot truly give my clients um, a recommendation and what it feels like, what the side effect is, things that I've not have personally had an experience with.
I love that. So is there any huge goal that you're working towards as far as business wise?
Yes, one of my goals that we're working on is expanding. So I am hiring more, bringing on 2 more nurse practitioners by the end of the year. So we are
Nice.
looking at offering more services.
How is that going with because I know I hear all the business owners that I talk to, the one thing that they probably, I don't know if it's the proper word, but complain about is either hiring, basically getting the right people in the right spaces. So how is that going for you? And any advice for the other business owners looking to hire other people?
Oh, it's definitely a challenge. But I think it's the approach. And we do live in and again, as a small business and dealing with minimum wage and competitive prices from bigger companies, it can be like finding a needle in a haystack. But one of the things I offer is like incentive-based employment. Um, I make sure that I try to build a relationship. I try to find people with that person that we have that cohesiveness, that bond when we're at work, someone that I can just relate to. So I always try to find when I'm looking at them, okay, what can we relate to? Are you a mom? So do you know what it's like that? Do you have kids? Like, have you been a single mom? Have you been, like, what's your life like? Do you have to, like, I try to find something that I can relate to that person because when you can relate to a person, you get that a different vibe from them. You get that different work ethic. And one of the things I never, being military, I lead by example. So I've always been the type of person I will not ask you to do boss or no boss. I never ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do. I will get right in there and I will work with you. So if you see me working, the expectation is that that would be that motivation. Like, okay, well, she didn't just say do this and leave me to do it. She got in there and helped me. But there's going to be instances where we can't always do everything. But I tend to let them know that or show them that if I'm doing it, you can do it too.
Yeah. How long have you been retired from the military?
April, May, 1 year.
Congratulations. Do you miss the 9 to 5 life at all? Or you're like, thank God.
I do not miss the 9 to 5 life, but what I will say is I thought that it would be easier and I would have more time. I do not have more time. but I am definitely in control of my time, if that makes
Oh,
sense.
because
So yeah,
you were doing both for about a year, right?
yes,
Oh
and then I
wow.
had a yep, and then we had a bakery, and then I had some I have a real estate investing company. So yeah, so I have a lot of flexibility with my time, but I'm still busy and I don't miss it.
Yeah, I was telling I have a friend, he's kind of like my cousin, but he does like multiple things and he's preparing to quit his 9 to 5 to do I guess to focus more on his businesses, right?
Mhm.
But he's like, I'll have more time and I'm like, no, you won't have more time.
No.
I was like, it'll probably be a little bit easier because you're not restricted to that work schedule. I was
Right.
like, but you won't have time. So prepare your mind right now for to
Correct.
still be busy. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Um,
totally.
how do you feel about work-life balance and do you even believe in it?
Oh, work life balance is extremely important. And I think as entrepreneurs, we tend to lose sight of that because we're either chasing the bag or we have to get this deadline done, or as an entrepreneur, there's always going to be some things to do, always. But I feel like mentally, you have to know when enough is enough, and you cannot continue to just pour and pour into work without recharging yourself. So I feel like work life balance. And it's funny because in April I took a solo trip to Maui just for that reason,
Nice.
to do, because balance is so important, and we can get so consumed with the day-to-day things of what we have to do as an entrepreneur.
How was it traveling by yourself?
Honestly, that was my first time. I was very nervous. I was nervous 'cause, again,
I want to
the
say I'm asking because I'm like, okay, I want to just go somewhere by myself for like a week, just chill out all alone.
So I did it for a week. I was very nervous. But when I got there, I got on the resort. It was great. I had a ball. I had a blast. I would highly recommend it because, first of all, you deserve it, but treat yourself.
I do.
And you have to find a way. We give so much to everybody else. It's just time. And then I had to change my mindset about it because I was like, oh, I'm traveling by myself. But when you think about it, you've traveled for yourself for work. For me, I was like, Tanika, you've traveled for 25 years by yourself for work. I mean, yes, there may be someone else that you, when you get there, but you didn't know those people. You had to get to know those people. So when you get to this resort, you get to know a couple
Same
people, and
thing.
you'll be. And so that's where I had to do a mindset shift because I was truly like, should I have done this? Oh my God, I'm going to be so nervous. Or I can't do this. I can't do that. But when I got there, I was like, no, put your big girl panties on and let's roll with it. You booked this trip, let's do it. And so it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'm nervous about it because I just want to stay in the hotel room the whole time, probably leave to go get food and go back to the room. Like, I just want to chill and relax the whole time, lay on the beach somewhere.
Oh,
Um,
great.
but I just have to make my mind to just actually plan for it and actually do it because I always say that. Is there anything that scares you about business? Any business fears?
Anything that scares me. Okay. I, in today's society, what scares me is the way I practice, meaning there's so many other providers that you can get medicine from. So you can see me and then you can see another person. My biggest fear is not knowing, prescribing or seeing a patient that has not been truthful and you don't know exactly what they're taking and you've asked and then you overprescribe and it causes an adverse reaction. So that is I'm a very careful, cautious provider. So that was one of my biggest fears is just having an adverse reaction for a patient. And on the business side, as an entrepreneur, one of my fears is I'm not afraid of failure because so much more can come out of failure. Like you can actually learn what not to do next time. But one of my biggest fears is just not running myself, like not having a balance. That's a fear of
Mm.
mine. It's not just making sure that I don't lose sight and have balance because I have two small kids.
Oh well, yeah, that's different. I don't believe in balance. I feel like I feel like because I enjoy what I do, it's
Hmm.
easy to just keep going and going and going.
Yeah.
And I feel like when I need a break, I just take a break. But I don't like focus on, okay, let me do this over here and do this over here. I just go with the flow and whatever needs attention, even if the attention is, if I need the attention to myself, I give myself the attention. I give myself attention to if I have to focus on building clientele or whatever it is that I'm doing. But balance, I don't believe in it. You're a mom, so how old are your babies?
I have two. I have a 14-year-old daughter and a 11-year-old son.
Teenagers.
Yeah.
So 14, so probably in about 20 years, 20, 25 years. What will you tell your children about this season of life? Like if you guys are just like sitting, having a reflection conversation, what would that look like or sound like?
So I wouldn't have to tell my kids anything in 20 years because I make my kids work with me. I am
Oh,
not leaving a
nice.
legacy. I am not leaving a legacy for you to sit at home and play video games. No, 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 we're not doing that. So if I go clean the house, they go clean the house. If the house need to be painted, you're gonna come with me and clean up and paint. I'm not gonna. So I'm not one of those moms like, oh, I want their life to be better than mine. Yes, their life is better than what mine's are, but you're gonna learn how you got this better life. So I my kids work alongside of me. My daughter comes to the clinic when it's Saturday. She'll be my social media person. My son just stained a
Nice.
fence. Um, I'm not gonna wait to tell them anything. I feel like they should experience it with me now.
Do they enjoy it? Like, are they?
Sometimes,
Because
but
some kids have that entrepreneur spirit in them. Is that who they are?
so my daughter definitely is a go-getter. She had a bakery for 7 years. We just ended up closing it when I retired. It just became COVID was our best year with her and her bakery, but it became too much because now she's getting older. She's in volleyball, and we just had to hire people to run it. And so she's definitely an entrepreneur, go getter spirit. My son, he's a boy, so boys are a little slower, and they want video games.
Yes.
So, and there's some things, and then there's some things just like us in life. There's some things with our jobs and what we have to do that we enjoy, and there's some things that we dread doing, but we know we have to get them done. So they're the same way. They're little humans. There's some things they're like, Mom, do I have to do this? Well, I got to do it.
Yeah.
I mean, so of course you got to do it. So
I got
you
to
got
pay the bills every month.
you got to eat. You got to eat. Bible says, if you
Right.
don't work, you don't eat. So
Period.
yes,
That's good. Well, because they're watching you do it, they'll grow up and it'll just
right,
become second nature because that's what they seen their mom do.
correct.
Do you think being in business has changed you at all?
Yes, I think it has changed me. I told people, I said, I'm more. Sometimes they're like, oh, well, you're too serious. And I'm like, sometimes as being a Black business owner, we get this bad rap if we make one mistake that another person can make the same mistake, but it's just so heightened. So I think I'm more laser focused and more serious, and when it comes to business, and then on personal, they're like, oh, it's almost like you're bipolar. You're really cool over
It's
here.
like night
You're
and
really
day.
you're really cool and fun over here, but this Tanika, where you get her from? So, but I feel like you have to know when to turn it on and turn it off, and you have to adapt to the season. So I think that's the one thing um, I've learned or taken away, or but business has made me a little bit more firmer than what I would be, because I feel like we have to be very cautious of our business and the image we portray when we're conducting our business.
How'd you learn that lesson? Like, where'd that come from?
So when my daughter's Makai, so when Makai first started her business, her teacher, her teacher daughter um, was in 4-H, and so she was at the rodeo here in Texas, and so the teacher was all proud. So Makai was like, "Well, I have a business," and the teacher was like, "Hmm." And So it was like a life lesson that I had to teach my. So it was all good that her daughter was doing it, but it was like, oh, y'all got this baby out here working, and y'all taking all this baby money. And my daughter was like, my mom's a nurse practitioner. She got her own money. She don't need no money from me. And so it was one of those that I had to teach about double standards. And so I had to teach that to my daughter when she was 8. Like standards aren't equal. And so that was one of the things when I had to teach it to her. I was like, it was like talking to her, but talking to myself, like, oh, if they think that that you have to teach this to an 8-year old, and it applies across the board to every company, every entrepreneur, that it's not equal, and we have to portray and uphold our businesses and our standards a little bit different than our
Yeah.
counterparts.
Is there anything that people think about you, but it's just not true?
I have a resting bee face, and and I don't know if it's in the military. Um, they're like, oh my gosh, she's
Probably.
always so serious. They're like, oh my gosh, she's always so serious, or she's mad. But then the minute I start talking, they're just like, oh, where that person come from? I tell people, I was like, I'm like an M&M. I'm hard on the outside, but I'm sweet in the inside.
I'm
That's what
like,
you're
wait,
gonna get.
what's like an M&M?
I'm an M&M. Like the outside is hard, but once you get in the center and open it, it's really sweet. And that's how I am. So that, I think that's the
Yeah,
biggest misconception people get. And I will be that person. I will be your cheerleader. Like if we're in for life.
nice. What branch were you a part of?
I was in the Air Force and the Public Health Service.
Why did I know that? I was married. My husband was military and he was Air Force. But I don't know what it is. But one thing that you've always wanted to do, but you just never done it, whether personal or business.
So with my personality, if I want to do it, I always do it. Um, I don't
You don't have to have. I mean, if there's nothing,
I
there's nothing.
don't like there's nothing, because I feel like life is short, so we have to live it. Um, and I'm not one of those to give up. So no, I'm not.
You get
I'm
it
gonna get it.
done.
I'm gonna make it happen. I'm gonna get no, yeah.
I love that.
And I think anyone that you ask, they'll be like, "Oh no, Tanika's gonna make it happen. What if she thinks about it, it's gonna happen."
Once
So
you set
no,
your mind on it, it's done.
yep, yep.
What would you say motivates you to get your things done?
I was raised in the projects in Alabama, and we had a lot of hungry nights. My grandmother raised me, and food was scarce. And when I became a mother, I was like, my kids will never um, know that life. So I'm motivated to leave a legacy for my kids, so my kids and my grandkids and my great grandkids won't have to know that life.
I love that. One thing that you would say you're absolutely unbeatable at.
Determination. I am like, if I determine, so it's gonna happen. Like I am unbeatable when it comes to getting stuff done, and like reaching goals. Like I am so anal when it comes to goals, because I will have a quarterly goal. I will have a break it down for a monthly goal, and then I want to know, like, okay, how are you going to achieve that goal? There's 4 weeks in the month, so what are you going to do each week to make sure that you achieve this goal? And when I go back and be like, okay, it's Thursday, what have you done? Are you got Saturday coming? So I think my determination and just being laser focused is something that I'm just like unbeatable at.
I love that. So the reasoning for the podcast is, well, the idea stemmed from I get to talk to a lot of people. And for the most part, people get to see, because my studio is it's home based. So people get to see basically what I'm doing. They see what I'm doing online. They just see everything. So at some point the conversation leads to business, in addition to me always talking about business. But at some point the conversation leads to business. And people have goals, they have ideas, they have plans to do the thing, but for whatever reason, they're just simply scared to get started, scared to do the thing. Is there any advice that you would give the girl or guy that is just scared to do it?
Well, you never know if you don't try. And success has come from people's failures. So I just will say, like, get up and, like I said, get it done. Like, you have
Yes,
to have just you have to get up, get it done. And it doesn't it's not a race. Everyone's story isn't the same. So if it takes you 10, 15 years, just put an effort daily or weekly to achieve your goals and get what you want to get done. And start small. No, you don't have to. There's no. You're not in competition with no one but yourself. So whatever your goal or whatever you're hoping to achieve, do it small and work at your own pace, but continue to just work towards what your goal is.
I love that. Thank you, Tanika.
Welcome.
Is there anything that we did not talk about that you'd like to share? Any questions or anything you'd like to say?
Ooh, one tip for an entrepreneur would be to continue to market and invest in yourself. Sometimes we get so busy and we invest in everybody else, but it's continue to network, meet people. You know, this saying that your net worth is as deep as your network is deep as your net worth, and that is so true. And sometimes we have so many things on our plates and so many things to do. At the end of the day, we lose sight of that. But you never know the one person you know that knows somebody else. Because we're just six people away from knowing everyone. That's what they say. So just continue to network and get out there and grow your business and don't give up on yourself.
I love that. Thank you so much, Tanika. It's been a
Thank you for
pleasure
having me.
talking to you.
Thank you.
I will, once everything is all done and I get everything set up, I'll send you the link to all of the episodes. I'll
Okay.
text you, I'll just send you a text.
Okay.
But thank you so much for being here. It's
Thank
been a
you for
pleasure
having me.
talking to you. And I will talk to you soon.
All right. Have a good evening. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, you too.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Episode, I believe 58 is either, yes, I think it's 58. I am always inspired talking to business owners about their business. Like just being able to hear people or hear about people's story and how they work their 9 to 5 and they figured out a way to get out of it to focus more or I guess go all the way into their businesses is extremely inspiring to me. And if I did it, if she did it, you could do it. Like it's just putting together whatever plan in place and getting it done to do it. Don't forget to thank God for your blessings. Don't forget to say your prayers. Don't forget to take care of your skin. And I will be back. I have a couple podcasts scheduled for tomorrow, so I will be back tomorrow. Bye.